Hey folks, this is Bones Backyard Homestead. On this episode, we're going to build a kindling box for the rabbits. Stay tuned. Alright folks, like I said, we're going to be building a kindling box for the rabbits. Now, this is going to be a pretty simple project, and I've seen it on the Rabbitry Center YouTube channel. Great guy, and I kind of like the idea that he has. So what he does is he takes a 30-gallon tote and connects a tunnel to the colony. That way they can, do their, what would actually kind of simulate a tunnel, and then inside they have their kindling box. And it works for multiple reasons. For one, that's where the females are going to go and have their babies. There'll be nice nesting materials in there, and they can have their babies. In the winter time, this will be a perfect place for them to, tunnel out from underneath the awning here, tunnel out into the kindling box, and get a couple of them in there, and they can keep each other warm as well. And now, during the summertime, it'll be the same thing, where, because this is going to be kind of buried in soil, this will be a nice little place for them to actually cool off as well. So, multiple purpose, one box. So the first thing I need to do is prep this box with the tunnel. So I need to measure how much tunnel I need to go get. So let's get that started. So obviously it's going to want to stick into the tunnel a couple inches and into the colony a couple inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it from right up against the metal to inside the box. I'm looking at 52 inches. So 4'4". Let's go ahead and let's cut them at 5 foot. Alright, now the next step is to actually build the box inside, because you don't want them right up against the plastic. You kind of want a little bit of insulation barriers, so be it, or whatever. And basically we're building a nesting box. So I bought 1x6, 6 foot long, bought 3 of them. And what I did was I measured the first board, the long board, to fit perfectly in there at its narrowest point. And for me that ended up being 23 inches. Then the same thing I did in here, which was like 14.5 inches for mine, but since I'll have 3/4 of an inches on either side, ended up cutting 2 at 23 and 2 at 13. The first thing I'm going to do, if you have one, get yourself a counter bit drill bit, which I have one. No clue where it's at. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to pre-drill two holes. On the long board. Switch out the drill bit, put a bigger drill bit. Now this one I'm only going to go in a little bit. So if you had a counter bit, you wouldn't have to do that. But what I'm trying to do is get the head of the screw to recess in there a little bit. And then what I could do take a little bit of wood glue. And we'll put it on the shorter end. And by pre-drilling those, you eliminate the possibility of it splitting across there. Now what we end up with is this nice little box. It fits perfectly inside there. There's one more step we need to do before we actually cut out the hole for the tunnel, and that's to make it where the rabbits can actually climb up the steps. So what we're going to do, again, we cut these at 13 inches, and boy are they tight. What we're going to do is create almost like a stair. A 1x6, 2x4, and then 2x3. Unfortunately, I don't have any 2x3s on me, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 2x4 and actually lay it flat like this. Now you can see how they have a little stair to get up and into the thing. So there we go. Next step is going to be making the hole for the tunnel. Alright, then we'll take a drill bit. And what I want to do is my side with the step. I want to take my drill bit, put it right on top of that, and get myself a starter hole. So now I got my starter hole. I basically got to figure out how to hold this. Then we're going to take our Sharpie, trace around there. That's a little too aggressive. Alrighty. This is the hard part, is I want this to go in at least 2 of those rings. Set it on top of that wood on the inside. Work your way around, get this thing in there. There we go. Actually, it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. So now what we got is this great stuff, Pest Block. Now what my goal is to seal around the edge of the pipe and the edge of the tote. And my intentions is to get as much air tightness as I can. We're going to go around and fill the edge of these gaps as well. So let's get that started. Alright, now it's time to prep the run for the tunnels. So what we're going to do is this bucket's diameter is roughly the same size as the opening for the tunnel. And you gotta remember the tunnel's going to stick in a little bit further, so I can't just turn it and lay it up there and measure it that way. I want that tunnel to sit on that 2x4 right there. We're going to trace this. Now if you do have rabbits living in your run right now, you might want to block off that area so they can't get out while you're cutting, or just to prevent them from actually getting injured while you're doing it. Most likely they're going to run to the other side, but just to be safe, I'm actually going to close the door to this part of the run. That way, while I'm trying to get it in there, they can't run out. All right, to wrap these up, we're going to take some of these pine shavings and put them in there. Oh, hi buddy. Then some of the straw. All right, so now you guys can see that they can travel down the tube, come out, and they have this basically a nesting box for them to come in here and get warm during the winter time. And they can also come in here, build a little nest in here, and have their babies. Somebody's making babies right now. All right, so right now the mass of the heat that's going to be generated in there is going to be from their body heat and whatnot. Here in a little while, I don't know if it's going to happen soon or not, but I'll get like some bags of soil and peat moss and mix it together and actually build a mound around the bottom. Maybe come up to about there, maybe cover part of the tunnels as well. My thought is, at least with the black tunnels, the sun hitting that will generate a little bit of heat and warm up down the tunnel. But if we build a mound of dirt around these things just like that, they'll get some of that thermal mass from the ground as well to cool them during the summertime, keep them warm during the winter time. So hope you guys enjoyed this project. Here we are with the rabbit tunnels. See you on the next one.